assume the selection meeting wasn't exactly a long one?
No, there's not too much availability in guys to choose from, but I mean the good news is we expect Jack Siebel to be right and he'll train fully today, so it's good to get him back.
And Ben Mackay too, David?
Yeah, well, potentially. Yeah, he's played some really good footy down back the last couple of weeks after a really frustrating year with injury, so yeah, we'd certainly like to get a look at him, but we're yet to finalise the 22 just yet.
I assume with Jack, the specialist advice came back fairly positive that he's not going to do more damage to the foot.
Yeah, we were obviously really careful with that and making sure that we actually sought a second opinion. The second opinion was exactly the same as the first, so we're really confident that there's very little risk. I mean, there's always a risk in any contact sport, but the surgeon's advice is that he's right to play, so and it's pain permitting, so that really stops Jack.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised that he's dead keen to get back in amongst it, without much on the line, I guess.
Yeah. Oh well, look, he's the captain of our club, and he sets the tone for the way we go about it, and we've been really clear on what that is in the last month or so of the season. So he wants to lead that, and I'm certainly a happier coach when he's playing.
Majak was out the front before on crutches, and the left foot was as though it's in a cast. Has he had an operation on that? Yeah,
he's had a minor procedure that'll keep him out next week, unfortunately. But we think it's not going to impact his pre-season at all. So while it's disappointing not to have him this week and next week, it shouldn't impact next year at all.
And Jared Wade a chance to get up for next week. There's obviously a chance this week, but didn't quite get up.
Yeah, I just came from talking to him, and he's unfortunately he's not feeling great. So clearly we haven't picked him this week. But my message to him is let's just do everything we can to get you up for next week. And if he's right, that'll be great. But if not, it means that we're not slowly rehabbing something into the pre-season. So while it is relatively minor, we're hopeful next week, but that's all we can be at this stage.
So when you say he's not feeling great, is that just disappointment, or has he got a bug?
No. It's just purely his calf. He's concerned about that. He anticipated that he'd be back this week, and so he's really disappointed that his calf's not feeling as good as he thought it would.
So there'll definitely be a pre-season for Jared?
Yeah, well, I probably jumped the gun there, didn't I? But no, I mean, look, I think his form this year when he's played, has been outstanding, and I still think he's got a lot to offer. But there's also a lot of water to go under the bridge, and we're far from confirming who's going to be here next year and who's not. There's obviously a lot of mechanisms with free agency and trading and all those things. So unfortunately for those players, it's still fairly fluid. But we know what Jared's capable of at his best, and I think he's still got some left in him.
Mason Wood, Corey Wagner, are they a chance to get back next week?
A chance, yeah. Again, we're probably more hopeful than certain, but every player is on the same program, and the only guys who we've ruled out and had surgery are those who are no chance of coming back. But the guys who are a chance are rehabbing with the aim to play. So Mason and Wags fit into that category.
There's a report this morning that Steve Saunders is likely to leave the club at the end of the year. Is there any further you can add to that, Brad?
No, we're always looking at our department and how we can improve, and Nick, that Steve's spent a fair bit of time back home for family reasons this year in Adelaide, and commuted a fair bit with us. But he's still a really important part of our program, and none of that's finalised just yet.
Brad, it's also reported that you're the red-hot favourite for the Gold Coast job. What will you be encouraging punters to do?
Don't bet at all on anything. That'd be my advice, but not everyone takes that advice. No, I mean, gee, you guys keep speculating, I'll keep doing my job. There's only so many weeks I can keep saying the same thing.
Lockie Hansen had a bit of a time out of the senior team again towards the end of the year. Brad, where's he sort of at with his footy?
Yeah, he's coming back to form in the VFL, so he's in the mix for selection next week. We didn't pick him this week, but he's just got to keep working on the things that we're coaching him on, and he is showing signs of improvement. But he's disappointed not to be playing regular senior footy at the moment. But we know his best is really good, so our focus is just trying to get him back to that.
Just your thoughts on your opponents, obviously this weekend, still a lot on the line for them?
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, they've got to win, don't they, to be any chance. So we expect a red-hot contest, and they certainly got the better of us last time in round 13. So we've gone back and had a really close look at that, and we think there are a lot of areas we can improve. But when their pressure's at their best, they can be a really dangerous football side, and they've got a lot to play for. So we've got to match that intensity, and we intend to.